Good morning to all of you. Wonders of Animal World, lecture number 4, subject Zoology, FY BSc semester 1st, paper 1st. Bird migration. Migration is the seasonal movement of animals from one habitat to another. Animals generally migrate between their wintering and breeding habitats. The phenomenon of migration has been traced to almost 300 years ago. Two major reasons of bird migration, mainly feeding and breeding. Shorter migration are common, including altitudinal migration on mountain such as the Himalayas. Types of bird migration. First, molt migration. Because birds are vulnerable when they molt, they need safe place to do it. Some birds, like shelducks, have traditional molting places to which they fly every year. This is called molt migration. After molting, they return to the coastal where they are normally found. Second, passage migration. Some birds are both summer visitor and passage migrants. Sanderlings, small wading birds, breeds in the high Arctic region and many spend the winter of West Africa. They are passage migrants to inland and use our estuaries to refuel and rest as they move through. Third, seasonal migration. This well known and widespread migration is predictable based on the seasonal changes as birds move between breeding and non-breeding ranges. The height of this migration period are during spring and fall. Through in some areas, the change between wet and dry seasons are migration indicators. Fourth, latitudinal migration. This migration is between area of different latitudes from north to south and vice versa. This is the most common migration type with many new tropical migrants. But the exact direction of migration is often determined by the geographic features such as mountain range and available habitats. Fifth, longitudinal migration. Similar to the latitudinal migration, this type of movement is a change between different longitudes from east to west or west to east. This is common type of migration in Europe where geographic features encourage birds to move longitudinally rather than latitudinally. Sixth, altitudinal migration. Birds that breeds in tall mountains often exhibit altitudinal migration and move to lower elevation in winter when harsh weather and deep snowfall makes staying at upper elevation impossible. Birds that use altitudinal migration may not venture far in terms of overall mileage, but just a few hundred feet of elevation can make a great difference in habitat. 7. Loop migration. Birds that follow an annual circle are loop migrants. This migration include two distinctly different routes to and from breeding grounds, often taking advantages of the various resources at different times of the year. For example, rufous hummingbirds follow a coastal route in spring on their way from Mexico to Alaska, but take advantages of mountain wildflowers on an interior southbound route in autumn. Loop migration is also common with many seabirds and shorebirds as they use seasonal variation in wind pattern to aid their flight. 9. Nomadic migration. This movement is less predictable and can be erratic depending on available food and water resources. Nomadic birds tend to stay within the same range but may be completely absent from parts of that range when resources are less, but will return when the habitat become more suitable. Thank you.